Hello all, welcome back. Today is an extension of my last video where I created an EBS volume and also created a snapshot of the volume. Today we will see how to attach the volume to an EC2 instance and copy the snapshots from one zone to another. To start with, let me import the boto3 module. So I will import using import command, import boto3. Then I will create a client resource, client equals boto3.client, and then EC2. Okay, let me now spin up EC2 instance. So I will call the method called as run instance. So that will be client dot run underscore instances. Let me use the image ID. For now, I will leave it blank. I will take it from my console later on. Instance type. What I am going to use is t2 dot micro max count equals 1, min count equals 1. The next thing that I'm going to use is tag specification. I want to give a name to my virtual machine. So let me copy it and paste it over here. Okay, the resource type that I'm going to use is called instance. The key that I'm going to use today is name, and the name of the virtual machine, let me say instance 1. Okay, so this is the name that I'm trying to give to my virtual machine. Okay, so this will basically create the virtual machine. So what I want to do is that I want to also track how much time does it take to create that virtual machine. So I'm importing date time so that I can track the time it takes. What I will do is I will create start time equals date time dot now. Date time dot now. Okay, and then I will copy the same thing over here and I will put it over here so that I can track the end time as well. End time. Okay, then I will put elapsed time equals, sorry, end time minus the start time. Let me just make sure that I'm not doing any spelling mistakes over here, so because later on it might give me an error. Okay, so this is the same. Okay, end time. This is the same over here. Okay. One more thing what I want to do is that I will create a waiter, my underscore waiter is equal to client dot get underscore waiter, and then I'm going to use instance underscore status. Remove this a bit. Status underscore. Okay, so we have to be careful with the syntax because if the syntax is wrong, then it gives error. So get waiter and instance underscore. Okay, then my underscore waiter dot wait. So this will actually what it will do is that it will wait for the instance that I'm creating to reach this specific state before it exits from my program. So that way I will be able to get the time it took for the machine to get created. So it looks good. So let me put print. I will copy paste that so that I don't have the mistake. Okay. Let me copy this whole thing from here and let's paste over here. Okay. So if you now let me go back to my AWS console, and we don't see any VM by the name instance 1 over there in my console, so that is good. Now let me try to launch an instance so that I can get one AMI ID. Since let me image ID. Okay, so let me copy this one, Control C, and let's go back to my script over here and put it here. So instance type, image ID, instance type, looks good, looks good, looks good. Let me just I'm just double verifying the spelling mistakes if there are any tag specifications, resource type. Okay, so I'm pretty much good. It looks good, good. Okay, let me put a space over here. Looks good. Okay, so this should basically spin up a VM for me. Let me start it. Okay, let me go to the console, service, C2. Okay, instances. Okay, so this instance is getting created for me, so that is good. Let's wait. I'll pause the video, and once the instance is created, we'll continue from there. Okay, so now my virtual machine is created. The EC2 instance is created. It took around 3 minutes, 52 seconds, and those microseconds over there. So now if you see over here, it's completely running. That's okay. It took a bit of time, 3 minutes, 52 seconds. That's okay. So the next thing is that what I will do is that I will create a volume. Let's see on which availability zone is my EC2 instance created. So it is on US East 1A. Let me go back to my script. Let me comment all these things out so that it does not execute. Okay. The next thing what I'm going to do is that I will create a volume. Okay. So what for that I will invoke the method called as create underscore volume. Next thing is what I will do is that on which availability zone I want to create it. So availability zone equals US dash east dash 1E. So this is the availability zone where I want to create it. The next thing what I want to do is let me put the size equals 1 GB that I'm going to use. Volume type that I want to use is standard. Okay, now let me take the tag specification again from here. Let me copy this tag specification and put it over here. Okay, I want to name this. What is the resource type that I'm using? Let me move it a bit. Resource type that I'm using is volume. The key is name, and the value for it is my vol1. That is the one that I'm going to use. Okay, looks pretty much good. Okay, let me see. Okay, yeah. So this is good. Let me try to run it. Before that, let me verify my volumes. Volumes over here. So I have only one volume that got created for my EC2 instance. Okay. Next thing is I want to run it. So let's go ahead and run this script. Okay, so it finished successfully. So my volume is created. Let me go and verify that. Let me refresh it. Yep, so my volume is created over here. The next thing what I will do is that I will attach this volume to this particular instance that I have created. So for that, what I will do is I will note down this instance ID. Let me put this instance ID over here. Right now I'm doing it static, means I'm copying pasting. Maybe in my later videos we will just automate the entire whole process itself. So let me copy the volume ID over here. So this is the volume ID. Sorry for that. Yeah, so this is the vol ID that I have created. Now let me go back and try to attach this volume. So what is the name of the volume that we want to create? Let me select this. Usually the device name will be XVDA, the first device. So we will change it to XVDB. So this is the device name that we are going to use. Okay. So let me just comment this out from here. The next method that I'm going to use is client.attach volume. So it's client.attach so underscore volume. All right. So here I have to put the device name that I want to use. That is XVDB. Then the instance ID equals. Let me copy it from there. So I will take the instance ID from here. And then the volume ID, the ID of the volume that I want to attach. So the volume ID. So looks good. So client attach volume. Okay. So let's verify. Right now in this particular EC2 instance, I don't see XVDB. So let's go ahead and run this. Make sure that everything is commented out. Just everything is commented out. Okay. And I want to run it. Okay. So the exited with return code 0. So that means my volume is attached right now. Let me refresh it. So yeah, if you see over here, now that particular volume that I created has been attached. Let's verify that. So this is the EBS ID. Let's double verify it. Okay, so this is the same. So this is 4A180, 4A180. So this is the device that we have attached. Okay. So now the next thing what I'm going to do is that I'm going to detach this particular volume ID. So what I will use the same thing, just instead of attach, I can mention detach over there, detach. So it will detach the particular volume from this instance ID. Detach volume, yeah. So let me run it again. Process finished with exit code 0. Okay, looks good. So now if you see over here, the volume was attached. Now if I refresh my screen, so I don't see it again. So the volume has been detached. Okay. So next what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a snapshot of that particular volume. So so for that I will use the method called as create snapshot. So it's client dot create underscore snapshot. Looks good. So I will copy the volume ID from the top itself. So this is the volume ID for which I want to create a snapshot. Let me put it this way. Okay, so this is the volume ID. Okay, so let me again use this tag specification so that I know this is my volume. So let me copy it from here and let me put it down here. The tag specification. Let me remove these comments from here. Okay, looks good. Okay, so now the resource type is snapshot, and my vol1 snapshot. Okay, so this is the snapshot that I'm going to create. Okay, so let me just make sure that everything is commented out on the top. Yeah, everything is commented out. Okay, so let me go ahead and run this. Let's see what happens. Right, so my code has executed. Let's see code one. Yep, that is 0. So now if I go to my snapshots over here, and you see this snapshot got created, my vol1 snapshot. So this is the one that got created. Right, now this snapshot will be in the same availability zone where my volumes are there. So now if I want to copy this snapshot to another zone, let's say I want to copy it to US East 2. So what I'm going to do is, let me copy the snapshot ID as well. The snapshot ID. Yeah, copy this and let me put it over here. Now what I am going to do is that I'm going to copy this snapshot to a different availability zone. So let's see what, for that what I will do is that I will create a new client resource the with the zone name where I want to copy it. So what I will do is that my underscore new client equals boto3 dot client and then ec2 comma region underscore name equals us dash where I want to create copy it. Let me see it. So US East 1. So what I will do is that I will take it on US West 1. So let me go back over here. US dash West dash 1. Right. So this is my new client I have created. Now what I will do is I will invoke one more method with this new client resource that I have created. That is my underscore new client dot copy underscore snapshot. And then let me put the description for it. Description is equal to copied from US East 1, right? Source region is US dash East dash 1. The source snapshot ID. Okay, you have to be careful with the syntax, with the names. Snapshot ID equals. So let me copy the snapshot ID over here. I'm copying this snapshot ID. Let me put it over here. Okay. And then let me use those tag specifications again because I want to name this. Let me copy this tag specification and put it over here. Right. So the tag will be resource type will be snapshot. Key will be name. new snapshot. Okay, so this is the name that I'm going to use. Okay, now let me just comment this out as well. So what I have done is that I'm trying to copy this particular snapshot. So I've created a new client resource with the region name. This is the region where I want to copy it. Then description I have given. The source region is US East 1, right? And the source snapshot is the snapshot of the source machine. The snapshot ID of the source machine means the volume that snapshot that I created on US East 1. Then we have tag specifications, and yeah, this looks good. Looks fine. Hopefully this will work. This will work. This will work. Let's see. Okay, now let me go ahead and run it. So before that, let me go to US West 1 and see we don't have any snapshots over there. So yeah, the snapshot is empty over here. So now if I run this, let's run it. Yeah, and it completed with the return code 0. So let me go back to this particular AWS console and let's see. So right now I am in a US West 1 and I don't have any snapshots over here. So let me refresh the screen and you see this new snapshots the snapshot got copied from US East 1 to US West 1. Okay. So this will be all for today's video. In next video, we will try to work more with the ABS, like copying the snapshot and attaching this snapshot to instance in the copied region. So till then, goodbye. Take care. Bye bye.